Okay, well, hello everybody. I'm Vicki Schauhorn, and I'm so excited to get to join together with each one of you tonight on our Sunday night Arbonne Difference Maker call. And thank you guys for plugging in to the training that's available to each one of you. This is definitely time to set aside and invest in your learning and definitely helping you build the skills that you need in order to grow a successful business. And tonight is just one of the many opportunities that you have as a team. So I am excited to share with you Area Manager Ana Hernando. I know a lot of us are coming off the heels of spring break and have had some incredible family time. And some of us have been traveling, and I know Ana is returning from a trip too, but she has made time to prepare a training especially for each one of us. And so, Ana, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started. Oh, there it goes. Share screen. Okay, can y'all see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I really thought about this driving on my road trip from spring break, and I kept thinking to myself, well, all of us have said yes to Arbonne because we wanted a change, whether it was a personal change, like you wanted to get more outgoing or you wanted to develop more, whether it was you wanted your skincare to change, whether you wanted your wellness to change and then you wanted to help change that for other people, or financial change, which is why I jumped in for the business. You said yes to starting your business because you wanted a change. In order to get change, in order for a change to come about, there are some requirements. Change happens when you have vision, plus skills, plus incentives, plus resources, plus action. It takes all 5 of these working together in order for a change to come about. We hear about vision a lot. We hear Tammy and Vicki talk about paint the vision for people. And so what is that? What is that vision? Well, it has to be what you're working towards. What are you working towards? And when we're painting that vision for other people, they might not have the same thing that we're working towards. So that's why it really helps to get them on calls and share with them all the different types of possibilities of what the vision could be for them, and finding out what their why is and connecting it. So when you paint the vision, it gets what they're working towards. So the driven should drive innovation and constant learning. We're constantly learning about ourselves, about personal development, about techniques, about products that are all going to feed into this vision that we have that enables us to achieve it. Our vision should be a set of ideas that really do drive us towards a future state. Your vision should provide you with a sense of aspiration and really stretch your imagination, because those are the things that are going to really keep people into the well, I'm not 100% sure that it could happen for me, but I've seen it through her and her excitement is contagious. And so if she can do it, I can do this. If we're painting a clear enough vision, we have to ask, what are the possibilities that Arbonne is showing for you? And I took this to heart when I came across this training, because when we do the calls, I don't know if some of you have been listening to the Discover Arbonnes, but I've really worked on changing my why story, because I'm looking at all the different things that my family has been blessed with since I started my Arbonne business. And so now when I started my Arbonne business, like, I just need money. And now I'm looking at, okay, what has all of that done and created this vision of who I truly want to be, and how I see myself and I see my family and our place And now I'm working towards that. But when I'm sharing it with other people, trying to find out a little bit more about them, but what would be their vision? It's a lot of people, they might get turned off when you say, well, you could be 4 wide and 4 deep, and that's not their vision. They couldn't even fathom that kind of vision. But if their vision could be taking a vacation every year that they haven't ever taken a vacation, that's a really good vision to start with. The vision can expand for sure, but if we make the vision way too much to something that they can't even fathom, that will turn people away also. But we also don't want to paint a vision, oh, well, yeah, you can, it's a nice little hobby. You can get a couple $100. Because that'll chase the people away that are looking for financial security. Okay? So you have to really read your person well, give them a nice vision, a good vision, where they are, and then as they're growing, expand the vision. And when you plug them in, that vision's going to get blown out of the water. I tell you, my vision was completely blown out when I went to Tammy's house for my first retreat and saw all these white Mercedes. And I think there was like 65 people in one house. I was totally blown away. And then the more people I met and the more calls that I plugged into, my vision has grown. So it started with my vision of I can pay down some debt, grew. And so, but had somebody come to me and just said, you're going to be here and you're going to have this Debbie Neal house and all this other kind of stuff, I would have been like, you are talking out of some other place. So getting a good feel, but knowing that you have to have a vision in order to even have change. Another part of the equation is skills. In order for there to be a change, we have to have skills. And we just finished this phenomenal book, the GoPro book, which literally tells us these are the skills. Okay. A skill is the ability, gosh, my spelling was totally off on all these slides, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm like going, man, either my glasses weren't on or what. Is the ability to something, the ability of something that comes from training. It's the ability to do something that comes from training and experience and practice. And that's, for me, that's really exciting to put it to say that it comes from practice. Most of you guys know I come from medical background, and there's a really common thing in the medical world. It's called see one, do one, teach one. That's how you develop your skills. You see it done, you do it, and then you teach it to somebody else. And so Arbonne and the duplication process works phenomenal for me because I saw Melanie give a presentation, I did the presentation, and then I'll tell somebody else how to do the presentation. So those are skills that once we practice them and we get better and better and better and better at them. Even doing a presentation like this, we get better and better and better at Zoom and working on our slides. Networking is our key skill. And this is something I'm constantly working on. If any of you have met my husband, and those of you who haven't, he's like this natural gifted networker. It's amazing just to sit next to him and just hear him just work everything into conversation. And we'll go anywhere and he walks out of there with either giving his card to people or getting the number. And the networking, again, isn't always about what he can get, it's what he can give. So he'll literally, he played golf in Pensacola with somebody, and he just goes out and plays golf with whoever's out there. And he comes back and he's like, oh, I met this guy from Abilene and da 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 da. And I know somebody that can really help him out. And that's networking. Networking isn't let me sell you my stuff. Networking is building this relationship, and over time, then that really comes into, let me open up a little bit more to you about my network and share with you and connect you with people. And I think that's a skill that really takes, well, some people are definitely natural at it. You saw my husband. But for the rest of us, me especially, I have to work at it. I really have to work at being on purpose when I go somewhere, not to sell somebody, but being on purpose to really, really develop a relationship. And I did work hard on this vacation. I took the girls parasailing. And I sat on the boat to go parasail, and they usually don't let you go if you're not going to parasail. And I sat there and really worked hard at connecting with the different people on the boat and finding out where they were from and what they were doing, and really kind of developing this relationship with people. And it was definitely hard for me, because usually I would just be like, oh, that's nice, and just sit in my own little world. But I know that it's a skill that I want to be as good as my husband, if not better than him, at doing it and having it become natural. And I know to do that, I have to experience and I have to practice it. The other skill that we have is definitely sales. Knowing our ASVP packs, knowing our sale prices, utilizing our tools that we have, our Arbonne calculator. We have our scheduling skills that we all are working on, definitely sponsoring. And Melanie just gave that great training on customer service. That's another skill that I'm really working on. So all of these are not stuff that you just, oh, I've got them. We're constantly working on them, because we know that as we train and we get more experience and the more we practice, the better we're going to be at all of these. And that's going to, again, fuel the change that we're looking for. The other component was incentives. Now, an incentive is a payment or concession that encourages a greater effort of action for greater productive outcome. Arbonne gives us phenomenal incentives. First of all, they give us the best host rewards that there are. I know a lot of teams train on giving extra this or giving you extra whatever and coming out of your own pocket. I don't, because I firmly believe that Arbonne gives us the best incentives. How does it get any better than Arbonne telling our hostesses, you get 3 orders together that are $150 and you get a free $50 item? That's a great incentive for them, and it's easy for them to do. And then the 125s for 25s, those are fantastic incentives. Also now with the ASVP pack, you do the ASVP pack and your preferred client membership is free and you get a free $50 product. Arbonne has already put these incentives together. So if I just utilize them, then I'm going to be more successful, and then I'm not going to take it out of my own bottom line. The other incentives are our manager bonuses. Gosh, I was really off on my spelling. Manager, that's horrible. I'm going to tell you, Vicki, don't copy my slides until I edit them. Our manager bonuses, if you're a consultant, work hard to get to your district manager. And once you get there, utilize your skills and maximize on the incentives that Arbonne has put together. When I first started, everybody kept telling me, go for your district manager bonus, go for your district manager bonus. And I finally did go, okay, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And I made it a goal. And I'm not kidding you. I still make it my goal. I hit my district manager bonus for every single month for like 14 months in a row, because I made it a goal. And it's not that much harder, but the incentive was there by Arbonne. Arbonne already put it out there for me. And all I had to do was just work a little bit harder to get it. And then once I started hitting it, it really wasn't that hard to keep. I made a simple goal, and my simple goal is, I know when we are goal setting, it's you're good, great, and awesome. My good goal is my manager bonus. I don't want to take anything less. And for those of you who are new, when you become district manager, you do get a $200 district manager bonus when you hit 5,000 in retail sales and 5 preferred clients with 150 orders. So that's a great bonus for you to add to your paycheck. The other thing that Arbonne gives us are the incentives trips. Not just the vacations, but then also the other trips that some people have won to New York, and also even the incentives that they put together for you to earn your way to GTC. Now that we're sold out, I guess they don't have that, but all those different incentives that are put into place, those are there to help encourage and to bring fruition to your change. The other component that's needed is resources. Now, I love Arbonne because we have so many resources, but I will also tell you that I absolutely love this team. A lot of you don't know that over 8 years ago, when I very first started using Arbonne, I actually signed up with a different team. And I did my 2 launches, and then that was it. And I didn't fit with the team, so I didn't continue. And so it wasn't until 5 years ago when I actually signed back up, and I signed up underneath this team. And it's the resources. this team is invaluable with the amount of knowledge and resources they have. So resources, they're aid materials, systems, strategies that can be readily called upon and utilized to increase one's effectiveness. So this team has these team calls. We have our Facebook pages. We have SoundCloud trainings. We have team retreats. We have encouragement and personal development books, recommendations, lists on there, and we also do book clubs. Arbonne has the YouTube channel. Arbonne has the source. Arbonne has GTC. I forgot also to put on here, Arbonne also has the summer little mini workshops that they put on. So the amount of resources are amazing to me, because if you have a desire to change and you're working on your skills and you've got the other components there, you have these resources. All you have to do is tap into them. And so that, I think, is so fantastic, because if you work full time, you don't necessarily have time to be on work during the day and be searching on the source or anything else like that, because you want to be working your calls and your nooks and trannies, and you want to be working your day job. But it's at times like this, at 9 p.m., when you can't be calling people, or if you are, they're probably not very happy if you're calling them this late. But when you're awake and you've got, like, instead of watching TV, you can go on the source and you can read about product knowledge. I will tell you that it is the materials that they have put together that's closing deals for me. I've been working on a lady for 2 years for our Fit Kit. She's a serious organic, knowledge ridden the whole bit. I mean, when I first started my Arbonne business, I asked her she went to try a skincare sample so that she could give me some feedback. And she flat out told me no, because she uses olive oil and that's all she uses to bathe and wash her face with. And I thought, ooh, that's got to be kind of gross on your sheets. But I was like, okay. And so I've been working with her, or talking to her about our protein line, because she's been talking about needing to detox and been dripping. And she finally reached out to me and said, okay, I want to detox. I really want to know more about the products. All I did was I went to the source. I downloaded the product knowledge sheet on the entire ASVP for nutrition, all the little stuff that was in there, and I sent her those forms. And I said, here's the information. I sent her our ingredients policy that's also available, and I sent her our advisory council, who's that. I sent her these things. I just sent them to her through an email. And I said, here's some information for you to read about our company, about our ingredients, and about our policies. And that was it. And it was enough for her to make her decision. I didn't sit there convincing her. I just said, here's our information. But I had those resources available, instead of like trying to throw things out like, well, yeah, I'm not sure if we're organic, because we're not organic. And I was very transparent. But our policy ingredient tells you that we use organics whenever possible. That's our first choice. And that was good for her, because she also appreciated the fact that we weren't quote unquote sugarcoating, or we weren't trying to mislead people. But utilizing the resources is great. The other reason why I love the resources that we have is because I can't wait around for my upline to give me an answer. I just don't have time to wait on them. They're busy. I'm busy. If I need an answer, I have multiple places to go look for answers. And 9 times out of 10, I hit these places up before I ever reach out to my upline, because I know that most likely I'm going to find the answer in these resources before I go and actually ping them. But that's also my background training. My background training is, here's your book, go figure it out. So getting to your resources is phenomenal. The last and most important step that you have to have is action. Action is the process of doing to achieve a goal. So with us, with action, we goal set. Goal setting means writing your goals down for each month. When you write your goals down, you are making a commitment and a plan with the universe and with divinity that says, this is so important, I'm putting it in stone. If any of you, this is the time for all the Easter movies. Back early when I was a kid, we used to watch like Ben-Hur, and we used to watch Moses. And if you have ever watched those movies, there was a famous line that he would always say, so it is written, so it will be done. So if you write down your goals, you will achieve them. you will achieve them. They might not be in the time frame that you're looking at, but you will achieve them. And when you write down your monthly goals, then break it down into that week in the month. What are you going to do this week? It's Sunday night. Have you written out what you're going to have done, what you achieve to do, aspire to do by Sunday, this next week on Easter? What are you going to do this week? Write it out. To make 15 calls, to receive 25 no's. What is your goal this week that fits into your goal this month? Action includes setting space in your calendar for the activity. You have to put it in your calendar, because if you don't put it in your calendar, you're just kind of like open it up. When I had my medical practice, I had a medical coach, and he would tell us, if you are not having space in your calendar, when somebody calls and asks you, hey, calls you up for an appointment, says, hey, I'd like to get in on Tuesday. Are you open on Tuesday? And you look at your calendar and you've got nothing. You go, yeah, we're completely wide open. You're not successful in their mind. You're not busy enough in their mind. So you want to be able to say, yes, I have some openings on Tuesday. I can do this time or this time. You're more organized. You know what you're doing versus, sure, I'm completely open. Okay? So making the time in your calendars. Set the time to make your calls. I used to not do this, and now that I've done it, and Vicki was wonderful in giving that suggestion, I block it out and I say, okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to make my calls. I'm not freaking out of like, I'm going to have 25 yeses. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make my calls. My first objective is to get through 25 calls. Out of those 25 calls, I'm expecting to have 25 no's. Okay. Then I have my dates available to make the suggestions. I also have pen and paper there in case somebody wants to give me orders and I'm calling for follow-ups. We make the calls for bookings and customer service. Again, the call training that Melanie did is phenomenal on customer service. And then part of the action is ask, 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 ask. We hear all the time that we are responsible for the activity, not the outcome. And I'm in the process of doing the Go for No training, and I will tell you that that is exactly what he says. You ask, ask, ask. You actually want to ask your customer, your prospect, until they tell you no. You want to ask, and I really had an aha moment this past week when I was driving, because I was listening to this training, that I don't always go through all the product line. I asked them about the two ASVP packs. Which one would you prefer? This one or this one? Well, they say the skincare. Well, why not both? Do you want both? And then I don't even go into, how about your hair care? I end the sale before my customer does. And that was a huge aha for me. So I'm making some adjustments in that. I've got tons of customers that I haven't introduced the shampoo to, or the toothpaste, or the hairspray. So there's a whole slew of things that I haven't addressed, and it's because I ended the sale before my customer did. And now I'm returning that. We should let our customers tell us no. And then part of the action is reviewing, making any adjustments, and then setting yourself up to repeat. So the important thing is that, again, we have to have all of these in order to have change. Without vision, you get confusion. Without skills, it creates anxiety. Without incentives, you get resistance. Without resources, you have frustration. And without action, you create false hopes. It takes all of these components in order to have change. Vision, skills, incentives, and resources and actions equal change. And that's what I have for you, Ms. Vicki.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Anna, so much. We will open the call up for questions or comments, and then we'll close out our time together. Anyone have a question or comment for Anna? I think we need reminded of this. I love the fact that it was elements that create change, and I love the way you opened it up because we all come in with a why, a reason for wanting to do this business. But sometimes we have to remember what it takes to motivate us or to incentivize us, like you said, to take that action to hit our goals. So I love these reminders. Anyone have a comment or a question for Anna?
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, I just finished the Flip Flop CEO from you, Vicki, and I really, really, really loved it. I just read it first because because it's physically little, because it's tiny. It was really, I'm going to reread it, I think, like this week.
Oh,
and Anna, I'm really liking this. I started it this morning with my tea, and literally I'm almost done with it. I really like the book, so thank y'all.
Awesome.
And I enjoyed the training.
You know what, though, Mallory? You're a prime example of what Anna even talked about tonight. The resources are all available, but you have to tap in. So the fact that you have already been devouring some of the personal development books that have been recommended to you or given to you as gifts, the fact that you have taken that initiative will grow you strides further than those that don't. So congratulations on plugging into that and being willing to grow yourself. So that's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, enjoying it a lot. So thank you both.
Good.
Hey, Vicki, it's Melanie.
Hey, Mel.
Hey, on a awesome, amazing job as always. But I want to just really commend you on the simplicity that you reminded us of, because I think that over the years and over time, sometimes we get so caught up on maybe what somebody else may be doing that we sometimes tend to overcomplicate things rather than just keeping it simple. And the steps that you reminded us of tonight are the simplicity. And the proof of that is your most newly promoted district manager, Mallory, because I've watched you do that with her. She has a very unique schedule as a flight attendant where she is not always readily available. And you've taught her these are your resources and they're always available even when we're not, even if it's the middle of the night or a separate time zone. But you've also taught her about the dynamic of our team and the fact that she can reach out to you or to Vicki or to myself. And then obviously you've led by example, because Mallory is doing what you do, which is devouring personal development, and she's coachable and she wants more. So that is proof that when you keep things simple and you share with people and meet them where they're at, you learned what it was that Mallory wanted from Arbonne, not pouring all of the things Arbonne could do for Mallory down her throat. And you've blended that beautifully, and now you've got a growing team underneath you because of that. And so awesome training. I really hope you all took some nuggets away from it, but my number one reminder was keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
And you spell check clearly.
Nobody said you have to spell check in order to be an Arbonne VP. Just ask any of us.
I don't know why I didn't do the autocorrect. That was, I'm sitting here reading it, and I was like, I know I read it earlier, but I didn't have my contacts in, and so I'm like, but
just keeping it real.
Now you guys know why I don't really create all the reading material.
Yes, Anna, I was so disappointed in the misspelled words.
As Dr. Chad says, Anna, you're in public speaking, not in writing. There's a reason.
Anna, I wanted to say real quick, thank you for the training. It was just a really good refresher, and just I really needed to hear it. So thank you so much for sharing that. And since I have you on here, I don't know if I haven't been asked a question or just haven't really thought about it whenever you brought up the organic. Tell me again what you said about that. We're not organic.
We are
we
not.
are if it's available type of deal. Tell me that.
So Arbonne has never, ever claimed to be organic. Okay. And that is because there's so many different definitions of organic in different countries, and we get all of our ingredients from different places, that we don't have one board or one unifying label that says yes, right? And then the other component is we do use organics as long when they're available. So just recently in our, I think the natural sugar cane, if you read on the ingredients, especially it came up in Canada, that on the ingredients list it says organic natural sugar cane, and we're using it. But if some of it runs low, if the stock of organic sugar cane runs low, then they use regular sugar. So you'll see on the label both now, and so that's why we're not an organic company. We're non-genetically modified, and we use organics whenever possible. And Arbonne is working towards that video that Michael just put out about where we're going and non-GMO labels, which is just as important, or at least to me it is, because I know that with different countries and different laws and trades, that organic is a little bit more difficult to keep that label because we do get our ingredients all over the place. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you so much. And thankfully, I've never told anyone that we are. Yeah. But I thought that was interesting because it is such a big deal these days. And I'm glad you brought that up because that's interesting to hear. So thank you.
And if you notice in all of our stuff, it's also good not to say we're natural, because what we are, right. we are a perfect blend of nature and science.
Right.
Botanically based.
Mm-hmm. We're botanically based because once you extract the ingredients and nutrients from a plant, well, that's you're not natural anymore. Natural is taking the whole plant and sticking it in there, but we're extracting properties out of the plant. And a lot of stuff we're using the whole plant, but then we pull it out. So it's just sticking to what Arbonne tells us: pure, safe, beneficial, non-GMO, certified vegan, certified kosher. We have so many other certifications that, again, if somebody, just like my friend I was telling you about for 2 years, I just said, here's all the information. I didn't try to ours is this and ours is that. I just said, here's the information. Make the choice for yourself. If you feel that it's something that you can align yourself with, I'm happy to help you. And if it's something that you can't, well then, okay. No.
Hey,
because it's really, really difficult, in all honesty, to find anything anymore that's 100% organic.
And Rachel, this is Melanie. The other thing that I've learned a lot from Anna and how she always shares this information is just teaching people the difference in standards. It is very clear if you look at just personal care products, and I love the little quote that's in our presentation that talks about the difference in excellence standards between what Europe, bans and what the US bans. And that's, they can go out and Google search that. So when you see that we follow European standards and we're meeting the expectations of all of these other countries that don't have the obesity issues that the US does, to me, that speaks volumes to so many people real quick in how much different our standards for excellence are, because we're not following US standards, which are less than adequate.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Your picture's so cute.
Okay, well, awesome job, Anna. This was a great training. I think it was perfect timing for all of us. You guys, if you might, Anna, while I'm kind of finishing this out, just check the chats and see if there's any questions for you there, or comments. I know a lot of people like to comment there as well. But you guys, I just want to add, as we kind of close out our time together, first of all, it is we're down to the last week and a half of the month. I want to encourage you guys. I know we are coming off, a lot of us are coming off the heels of spring break, and we're starting to get back in the groove with our families. But I encourage you to reach out to your sponsor, or to reset those goals for the week. Like Anna talked about, be an entrepreneur, be a self-starter, take control of your company, you guys. You own your own company. Figure out what you want out of this week, and then break that down for yourself. And if you need another set of eyes, that's when you can tap in to one of your sponsors. But I encourage you to take that initiative, you guys. Your goals don't just happen. They only happen when you decide what kind of action you're going to take to go make them happen. And it is never too late to hit your goals, you guys. It's the beauty of this business. A lot of goals are met in the last few weeks, even last few days of the month, each and every month. So I encourage you to be one of those difference makers. We are going to finish our time together with our declaration, our team declaration. And tonight our team declaration says, we declare God's dream for our life is coming to pass. It will not be stopped by people, disappointments, or adversities. God has solutions to every problem we will ever face already lined up. The right people and the right breaks are in our future. We will fulfill our destiny. This is our team declaration. You guys, let's link arms and go out and make a difference this week, you guys. We can do that one person at a time. Look for people that God places in your path and share with them what you have to offer. I love you guys. I'll look forward to sharing with you guys again. Wednesday night, we'll spend our time together learning from each other, and then we'll meet again next Sunday night as well. So you guys have a great week, and I'm here if you need me. Love you guys. Thanks, Anna.
Night.
Good night.